Hi everyone, just came in from a couple of hours of powder coating in the garage and had a pretty good success with it. And if you've been watching my channel, you see I've had all sorts of issues with powder coating enclosures, the coverage not being good enough and candies not going on properly and all sorts of stuff. But I had a pretty big success. Actually, lately I've been doing some pretty good stuff. I did this one recently and it turned out okay. It's still got a few issues if you had seen in my last video, but it was definitely one of the better powder coating jobs. It's still got a few sort of thin parts on it, like I don't know if you're going to be able to see in the video, but across the bottom there it's a bit thin and things like that. But it turned out pretty good. Another good one that I've done is this one over here. These two are both ProTech Lure paint. You can actually use this Lure powder paint in a powder coating gun. It's just powder coating basically, and it does a reasonable job. This buzz box that I'm working on looks pretty good. It's got a pretty good finish and it's nice and consistent. This one turned out quite good actually for this Lure paint stuff. It's that one's probably actually one of the best ones I've done with the Lure paint. But recently I decided that I'd had enough of this Lure paint stuff because it's not always very good and you often have issues with it, as I just mentioned before. So I decided that it was time to buy some real paint now that I actually know the process and how to do it properly. I've kind of tweaked the process a bit since my powder coating tutorial. I'll have to do an update to that. But I got this stuff from Pendry powder coating, and it was not cheap, particularly to ship it to Australia. The shipping was about $40 on its own, but yeah, I just decided that it's just time to get some decent stuff. So I got a pound of glass clear, which is obviously the clear coat that goes over the top. I got a pound of dormant Granny Smith, which is the pedal that I'm about to show you. Our pound is a heap as well. I mean, a pound would do, I reckon maybe 50 pedals. It's just a crap load, but they only sell it in pounds, unfortunately, so I have to buy it in pounds. But at least I got enough there for quite a few years, I think. I got 2 pounds of white, which again is just a ridiculous amount. I probably could have done with just 1 pound. I didn't realise it was actually going to be quite substantial, but doesn't matter. It'll probably get used. Hopefully it won't go bad before I have a chance to use it up. And I got candy blue as well. And also you got to use an undercoat with candies, and the undercoat is mirror chrome, which would also, I reckon, look pretty good just on its own, just a chrome coloured. So that sort of works good in conjunction with the candy, or just on its own it would look pretty good as well. So with the dormant, with the green one, you put the dormant first, and then you put the clear coat on top. With candies, you put the silver on the bottom and the candy on top. I mean, I've done that even with this Lure paint. I've put silver Lure paint on the bottom and then the red candy on top. So that's just the way that this powder coating stuff works. This one was actually gold underneath and then a gold transparent on top, which gives it a really nice gold colour. So my recent successes, a couple other things, some tape, which will actually survive the oven, because obviously you can't just use masking tape because it'll just burn and it'll probably stuff up the powder coating as well. So that survives the oven temperatures. And also some of this prism additive, which is basically, there's just no way you're going to be able to see this in the camera, but it's kind of like a they call it holographic additive, holographic flake. It's like micron. The flakes are like so small, and you add it to the I added it to the clear coat, which goes on top of the Granny Smith. So the result, what does it look like? Well, it looks bloody awesome. I haven't had much success with the powder coating, as I said at the start and said many times. This has got to be the best powder coating jobs I've done so far. The gloss on top is just dead flat. It's just as flat as glass, and with this holographic additive, it just looks bloody awesome. It's just like, if you look at it on a certain angle, it's like a rainbow, like little dots in different colors, like green, red, blue, yellow, orange. There's just all these tiny little flecks. It just looks, in person, it just looks absolutely awesome. And I'm doing a few. I'm doing another run of pedals. I'm doing 5 tone benders, yeah. So I've done 5. I've done 5 of these enclosures in that Granny Smith colour. So the colour was, just to run over that once more. The colour was the dormant green on the bottom, and then you use the clear coat on top. I added some of the holographic flake to the clear, so it's really sparkly. It's got extra sparkles. Yeah, so that's it. Bit of success as far as the powder coating goes. I've always had troubles with it, but this stuff is turning out to be really well worth the money. And if you're starting to powder coat, and I mean, even if it costs a lot to get it over, and you got to spend like $100. I mean, all this stuff was about 120. It's just worth it. I spent probably $60 on that lure paint, and I mean, I got a few out of it, but I mean, some of the paint jobs are just, they're pretty average. I just wouldn't bother with it. I just get the proper stuff. I've also changed a few of the techniques of actually how I powder coat too, which kind of helps as well. So yeah, just an update on how I'm powder coating things, and yeah, just had a bit of a success that I thought I would share with you all. Thanks for watching.